You're listening to the Open Books Podcast.
Your next chapter starts now. This podcast is brought to you by Q&A Network.
Hi, and welcome back to the Open Books Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things books. Today, we're diving into Don't Let Him In by the master of domestic suspense, Lisa Jewell. This one was a slow burn thriller about charm, control, and the terrifying ease with which someone can slip into your life and ruin it from the inside out.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that. We'll be the judge of that master of thrillers over there, Miss Lisa Jewell.
Miss Lisa.
Lisa.
Wait, what's wrong finger? Which one? Clocking?
This means clocking. This means tea. What's going on, Lisa?
TikTok keeps me young.
Yeah. Okay, I'm so excited to talk about this.
Same.
We have not talked about it at all with each other. We barely even texted. Which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Though.
I don't know if that's a great thing.
Yeah, because usually when we're like obsessing over the book we're reading, we can't stop talking about it.
It's like you can't put it down.
Mm-hmm.
Headphones have to be in.
Yes. This one, not so much. So I'm excited to get into it. Like, just a little background about us. If anyone's new here, we love Lisa Jewell. She is like one of our fave authors. One of the first Christmas gifts I'll never forget I got you a couple years ago was my favorite Lisa Jewell book, Then She Was Gone. And I gave it to Amber and she loved it.
Amazing book.
And we read that one hard copy, like old school.
Old school. Who reads a book? I'm just kidding.
Who reads hard copies?
That book that you gave me made me 1000% trust all of your book recommendations.
Yeah, and I haven't really let you down since, and vice versa. So that's why I think we were eager to pick up Lisa's new release, Don't Let Him In. I've read plenty by her over the years and thoroughly enjoyed them all. This one, I don't know. Again, our opinions kind of change as we talk the book through, and we'll kind of see where we land at the end of it. But I'm excited to get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this summary, I wrote partially by myself and partially by using the website sobrief.com. They had a really, really great summary on this book, and I found myself having trouble because of the nature of the book being about a con artist with 10 different names and 10 different wives.
That was so confusing. At one point, I know I just said we really didn't text that much about it, but I texted Colby and was just like,
who is this man?
Who? Damien?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah, you're like,
Alistair?
You were like, is there any other names I'm missing? And I was like, yeah, Damien. You're like, oh my gosh.
Damien, Justin,
Jonathan.
Jonathan. It was so difficult. And I'm sure we'll touch on the point that I want to make right now. Because you had such a hot take.
Ooh, okay.
But
well, to your point
it was difficult.
It was. And to your point about all the names, every name he had went with like a corresponding wife.
Yes.
So something I noticed about all the wives' name too, and I was like, maybe he has a fetish for this or something. All their names ended with a. Laura, Martha, Tara. Did you catch that?
Nina.
Did you clock it?
I didn't.
So I was like.
I didn't, but that's.
So that was why the summary was a bit difficult. So I kind of like used some assistance. And I think me and sobrief.com came to a nice little conclusion. So I'll read the summary. Again, we always give summaries of whatever books we read for people who just like to come and kiki with us and don't really want to read the book. You don't have to, because I read a in-depth summary and it's almost like a little mini audiobook in your ear.
Which makes it very easy for someone to kind of just like jump in and listen to the questions and answer them on their own.
Exactly. Because again, we talk about the books like they're real stories, real lives.
Like
real
this
people.
really happened.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. So here's a summary of Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. This book is a psychological thriller that intricately weaves together the stories of multiple women entangled with the same dangerous man who masquerades under various identities. The central story begins with Nina Swan, a grieving widow whose husband, Patty, was tragically killed. Shortly after Patty's funeral, Nina receives a sympathy note from Nick Radcliffe, an alleged friend of her late husband. This initial contact leads to an online flirtation that eventually develops into a real-life relationship, much to the dismay of Nina's daughter, Ash. Nick Radcliffe's story is full of holes, but his warmth and apparent understanding of grief makes him welcome. He sends thoughtful gifts like a Zippo lighter, a box of soaps, each with a story connecting him to Patty, which makes Ash question him. She's super skeptic and notices plenty inconsistencies in his stories about his past, his career, and his relationships that just don't quite add up. Yet, as he becomes more involved with Nina, even spending weekends at the Swan home, his presence begins to feel normal and even necessary. Ash is still struggling with her own mental health issues, but she grows suspicious of Nick. She notices all these stories are inconsistent and very frequently unexplained. She's determined to protect her mother, and Ash begins to investigate Nick's background and enlist the help of a woman named Jane Trevally, which was Patty's ex-girlfriend. Interspersed with the present-day narrative are glimpses into Nick, his real name being Simon Smith, and his past. We see him with previous wives and lovers, names like Amanda, Laura, Tara, Martha, each relationship following a similar arc: intense charm, rapid intimacy, financial entanglement, and eventual abandonment or worse. Simon is a master of reinvention, using aliases and fabricated backstories to worm his way into women's lives, always seeking the next opportunity, always leaving destruction behind. Martha's point of view is one that we the readers get a lot. She's a florist in a neighboring town, and she's raising her baby and 2 teenage sons while her husband, Al, travels frequently for work. Al is Simon, by the way, if you haven't caught on to that. Al's absences and emotional distance leave Martha feeling like a single parent, further exasperated by financial struggles, because the truth is, Al is off with Nina while she's at home with the baby and her 2 older kids. As the narrative unfolds, it becomes clear that Nick Radcliffe and Al are the same manipulative man and con artist Simon, who exploits women for financial gain and psychological control. Simon's current life is a juggling act. He is Nick to Nina, Alistair to Martha, his wife in another town, and has other identities in his wake. He expertly gaslights, manipulates, and extracts money from his partners, all while maintaining the perfect facade of an attentive man. His ability to mirror each woman's desires and vulnerabilities is his greatest weapon and their greatest danger. So let's talk about the unraveling of Simon towards the end of the book. Ash investigates, aided by that same woman, Jane, who uncovers a pattern of deception and abuse by Simon, who uses all those aliases to lure all those women into that relationship. There was a couple clues that Ash had that kind of led to the final revelation that Nick was also all these other men, such as a pink soapbox that seemed like an innocent gift given to him by Ash by Nick, that became the key to linking Simon's various identities. Ash traces its origin to Martha's flower shop, confirming that Nick and Alistair are the same man. This discovery, combined with financial records, testimonies, and Simon's own carelessness, provides the evidence needed to confront him. Eventually, Nina, Ash, Martha, and other women who have been victimized by Simon, including the daughters of his 2 other missing wives, Tara and Laura, come together through a collective effort that is partially facilitated by social media. They confront Simon, leading to a dramatic climax that leaves his fate a bit ambiguous until the epilogue. The women lure Simon to a cove under the presence of a business opportunity. There he's confronted by his victims, wives, children, and those that he stalked or defrauded over the years. The reckoning is public and brutal. Simon's lies are exposed, his real name is revealed, his crimes cataloged. He lashes out physically and verbally to all the women, but is overpowered and flees towards the sea. Simon's end is both dramatic and ambiguous because we, the readers, are left to think that he drowned. After being cornered and desperate, he ran into the freezing sea, pursued by his 2 sons. He disappeared by the waves and presumably died. The women and their families are left on the shore, processing the trauma and the relief of his apparent demise. The police are called, but his body is never recovered, leaving a lingering uncertainty. In the wake of his exposure, Ash also receives a letter from him, urging her to confront her mother about her family secrets. This prompts a cathartic conversation between Ash and Nina, where they uncovered their long-buried truths and aired all of their dirty laundry. Both women emerge even stronger in their mother-daughter relationship, are ready to move forward with their lives. And finally, Ash realizes that the letters she received during her mental health crisis, because in the beginning we mentioned she was kind of going through something, she believes that she thought that they were from her boss, but they were actually from Simon, further evidence that he had a long-term manipulation and psychological abuse within her family. So the story wraps up, and these are the big revelations we're left with. A lot of this stemmed because not only Nick's manipulation, but Nina's desire for a part 2. While grieving Patty, Nina is drawn to Nick and makes her feel like there might be a part 2 because we learned towards the end of the book that her marriage to Patty wasn't all that it seemed. They both had some infidelity, and he kind of died before they were able to reconcile all that. Simon ended up being really envious of Patty Swan and his financial gain, and he was actually the reason that Patty was even killed in the first place. He hired a hitman to murder him, and that's kind of how he got involved with Nina. And then finally, Ash's need for validation of her sanity. So she was haunted by her past mental health crisis and stalking accusations, and then finds out that all of that was really done by Simon in the end. So she was able to really reconcile with that. But Amber, correct me if I'm wrong about the epilogue. I'm pretty sure we end up getting the point of view of Simon's first wife, who I guess he contacts. So I guess he didn't really drown in the water. And we get this epilogue where his first wife, Laura, maybe that was her. I can't remember
Amanda.
At this part. Oh, it was Amanda.
I think it was Amanda.
It was Amanda. She is in contact with him, and she kind of does like a Uno reverse and cons him in the end, makes him think that she's going to help him like she's done in the past. She literally like killed people over this man. And she decides, she wants to atone for his sins and he's going to atone for his. So he thinks he's coming to, be rescued by her, and the police show up and the book ends. So in the end, we don't believe he dies. He is sent to jail.
Justice is
partially served.
Yeah.
So there we go. It was just a lot of names and manipulation and different storylines that was a little bit hard to keep up with.
Yes. And this is what I wanted to say. So I'm glad that we saved it for after the summary, which, by the way, incredible summary.
Solid summary.
Per the usual.
Thank you.
So I was having difficulties with this book, in particular with wanting to pick it up.
Just wanting, yeah.
I didn't have the urge. I didn't have, strangely, the motivation, because I love reading, obviously. That's our thing.
Right.
But I wasn't like itching to know what happened next to a certain point. And you had made the point that if you don't listen to because we listened to the audio, if you don't listen to it consecutively, like you just listen to it in small bits or, for a few minutes, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, it's very hard to pick it up and know where you are, because I did text you and say, wait, I'm lost. I'm confused.
Who's this man?
Because you might be listening to Nick and then you take a break and next thing you know, it's Jonathan. Like what?
Or Martha or Alistair or Amanda, one of the wives.
Yeah, there's so many points of view. So I wanted to throw that out there. So if you're listening to the book, or even if you're reading the book and you're just a bit confused for a second, it's valid. Because
that's probably why.
I was too.
Yeah.
Colby, between school drop-offs and snack duty, I barely have time to brush my hair.
Same, but it's a good thing we have a one-stop shop at Virgo Beauty Studio. 1 hour with them and you will be looking flawless.
Oh my gosh, the best. Moms, treat yourself. Book your self-care at virgobeautystudio.com. So I thought that was a great point.
Yeah, and I noticed the same thing when I was listening to small bits. So I just decided to lock in for 2 days and only listen to it, so I was able to keep up with a little bit more. But it wasn't for a matter of I really want to see how this ends. I was just okay, let's wrap this up, because it's really hard when you're coming off of such a high of an amazing book.
Such a good book, yeah.
Like The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. And then you get into a book that's just me. So I just want to make sure that this does not put us in a reading slump, because reading slumps are so real. And if you have a book that you just didn't love, you got to be careful. You got to pick up a quick one.
You do. A quick page turner.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into our questions. What was your favorite part of the book? Since we know we weren't big fans of the book, big fans of Lisa, not a big fan of this particular book. What was your favorite part?
It's a good question. This is not, okay, I have two things to say. This is not part of the book, but this is part of the audio book. No matter what the story was, I thoroughly enjoyed the audiobook because it was a UK accent.
Absolutely.
It was a British narrator. And I guess Lisa Jewell is such a high-quality author. She had high-quality audio. There were multiple narrators. So there was a male's voice and multiple women. So every wife that had her own point of view had her own narrator.
I love that.
Yes.
I love when for the male characters, pardon, there is an actual male narrator voice. I think that just up-levels the entire experience.
It does, especially because when you have a female point of view and the narrator is trying to encapsulate a male tone, it's a little bit hard to not get frustrated by, because she tries really hard to make her voice sound manly.
I walked to the stairs.
Yeah, I took my shirt off, and it's I know you're a woman. It's just tough.
It is.
So I really like that. So I hope that counts as a favorite part, because that is something I really did enjoy. As far as the story goes, I really don't know if I have a favorite part. I liked hearing his point of view even more than the women's, because I just found him to be such a psychotic, narcissistic person that I was just really? Really, bro?
Wait.
So I found him interesting.
I almost feel like if we only had the entire book of Simon's inner thoughts, inner workings, I almost would have maybe loved it.
Me too. And then maybe at the end we get the female, or we get like a big...
the epilogue was like,
Yeah.
I guess you couldn't do
all of
them.
women. Yeah. But I like a villain point of view.
Yes.
I do.
Same. Because my favorite, this is kind of sick. My favorite part,
Sick.
or I guess like the part that stands out to me the most was when he comes home and it's Amanda and Tara.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I've got to take this girl out. And he just
Straight
like
up.
strangles her.
See, those are the things that can't be all included in the summary, but that was a fascinating part. And
The
I
way it
loved
was
hearing
written.
I was
The
like,
book was very well written.
of course.
It was a well-written book because that particular scene was even like,
yes.
whoa.
It was like the content that we didn't love, but like her writing style is always great.
always spot on.
Yeah.
But that, I think for me, he was doing a lot of crazy stuff throughout the book, but that's when it was like because he was fascinated with like the life leaving her.
Yes. He couldn't be more happy. He's like, well, here's my chance.
And I think in that moment, for me personally, is when I realized, he's not just like a con artist.
Right. He's also a serial killer.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah, yeah. And it was just like, it was a lot of tension leading up.
Double homicide.
Double homicide. Literally. There's a lot of tension leading up to that moment because he hadn't really got caught yet. Like,
No.
And so now he's at the first wife's house and the second wife shows up and she's like, knock, 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 bitch. This is my husband. And she's like,
Wait a
that's
sec.
not your husband. That's my husband. And he was like, get out of here.
Whoa. And then she's like, Anne, this picture?
You see
You
this?
at this hotel with
with a whole other girl,
the other
Martha.
wife?
She's like, you think he's your husband? He's my husband. Actually, last weekend he was with this hoe, and she's like,
sense.
okay, but Amanda, girl, please do better. Like, she was so manipulated by him. It was just sad. She was like waiting for him to come back all those years, and then she just is okay with murdering poor Laura, whoever the hell it was that they murdered.
I know, poor Tara.
Tara, that's who it was.
Justice. Partially served.
Yeah, partially.
So how does Lisa build, because this kind of like goes perfectly, build the psychological tension through small, believable interactions?
Well, I think she's so great at that. Like, it's her writing style that makes the book, no matter what, enjoyable.
It did feel believable until like all the killing, like the killing started, and then
the killing was a little far-fetched, especially because at the end, they ended up getting away with the murder in such a way that was like, really, there wasn't a bigger investigation. That like this man shows up, he had a daughter. It was Amanda's daughter, right? Or Tara's daughter.
Ash.
That
right?
Ash was investigating. Tara was investigating. Like, it just seemed like
but there was also the pregnant daughter that was really also like,
whose mom really was murdered. Yeah. But as far to your point about things that were believable, there was a lot, like those little things, like her showing up. I don't know. It was just his manipulation tactics could be believable.
His charm.
It was his charm. You know what my mom
buying
said?
the Tesla.
Yes.
Believable. And then being like, okay, I bought this, but I've already deferred the payments into whichever wife's name. Sorry, I can't remember all the names.
No, there's no way.
The dog baggies.
Oh, the bag of dog poop.
The bag of dog. And it's like, wait, he doesn't have a dog, but yes, he does with the other life he's living.
And he was quick to cover up his lies.
He was so quick. Pardon.
Wait, there was another lie that he covered up quick. Oh, the dummy, the new, we call them new-news, but they call them a dummy.
The passy.
So he was quick to do that. He's like, yeah, I babysit for my neighbor. That's why I have a pacifier. I
also
help them out. Really? And
Sure, Jan.
He was described as a very handsome older man. He had this charm about him. And he says multiple times, like, I just give every woman what they want individually, and they just think they have this perfect man.
He said, it's really not that hard to make a woman happy.
I was like, you know what? So that's actually true.
Simon?
Some men could take a page out of his book in that manner.
Like, I'm just going to say a name.
Yeah.
Nina, Amanda, whichever one. She loves to cook. So what do I do for her? We cook together. I put on some music. We pour some wine.
We dance in the kitchen.
And we dance in the kitchen. And I'm like, wait.
It's really
quite that simple.
And then the way he talked was so narcissistic. He's like, it's really not that hard. Like, you just do what he's like, I don't even know what these women are mad at. At the end, he's like, what are y'all mad at? I made you happy.
I give you all what you want.
It's like, you should all be thanking me, actually.
You're nuts.
But like the financial aspect of it actually really pissed me off because he really left every woman that he was with in such financial ruin.
Drained.
And that is something that people like him do. Like,
yes.
just people
It's
who
a lifestyle.
like, go get a job, go to work. And he just wouldn't.
It's part of that lifestyle. So men or women that are like Simon in this book, how can that like, or I guess in other words, like, how does that make you reflect on trust, safety, and like the different masks that people wear? Because that's like, this is exaggerated, but maybe not, because there's so many documentaries that are true stories that are literally like this, you know?
Well, we've listened to so many of those podcasts, Who Did I Marry? Or, you know, those TikTok series, Who Did I Marry? Part 75. And people going on and on about these relationships that they've just got so conned because these men or women, not just men, don't refuse to take any like dictatorship over their own life. They just have to like weave their way into other people's lives and take what's theirs and not give anything in return. But he was a true narcissist because he believed that he was doing the right thing. He's like, they should be lucky to have me. So it did make me be like, you have to be so careful of people. It'd be your own family.
It'd be your own family.
It'd be your own family. It comes from inside the house sometimes.
It comes from inside the house,
And that was a true like theme that I got from the book, that I was like, wow, you really do have to be careful. People really can be so manipulative.
Well, I think what also is scary, right? Like the things that happen in real life. For example, like the texts that are like, oh, fraudulent on your bank account. In that moment, you see that and you're like, I'm scared. So you act on it. And it's a scam, right?
And it's a scam.
And then like with this, like the love bombing, the gaslighting, the manipulating, I think for anyone, when you like want love and you want to be accepted, like I think you can easily fall into that trap, so to say. Like
100%.
You're vulnerable and you're like, I am getting everything I want. This man is a dream. We are cooking together and dancing. Like, who's dancing in the kitchen? Like
exactly.
Of course you want that.
And every wife's point of view said that about him. They're like, he is a dream.
He's a dream. He bought this new car. Like he went out and bought a new car. Like, of course he's not lying to me. Like, who can do that? But next thing you know, like the payment's in your name. Like,
exactly.
Scary.
And everything he said was always like, it's for us. I want you to take out a loan and buy this restaurant for us. We're going to be this way. And it was always for him.
And then when Martha, because when the baby got sick, remember the baby got sick and he wasn't home. He had the car seat in his car and then she had to take off work. So she was losing clients at her business. He quickly resolved that and like made a cover up.
Oh, he was so good at that. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. Like, it's just, I'm working so hard for us. And it's like, there are plenty people in the world who do operate that way.
Yes. So it does make you like put a guard up for almost anyone.
Yeah.
Especially like, I mean, Martha had 2 older kids already, and now she was left financially drained and with a baby.
Yeah.
Which
he had multiple children that he just left behind.
He had families. Like, it wasn't even like just multiple women. He had multiple families. And he, like to your point, like he really thought he was doing the right thing. Like, what?
Yeah.
In what world?
In what world?
And Amanda was a ride or die for him because like you just watched him kill this woman and you're still like,
I'll save you.
Until the end.
Yeah, which I'm glad she came through at the end. To wrap that part of the conversation out, my mom said her big takeaway. She's like, this book reminded me a lot of Joe Goldberg from You.
Oh, solid point.
Yeah, because in especially in the early seasons, because he does turn very psychotic and scary by the end of the series. But in those early seasons, he was all about that charm, but he was such a stalker in the end. He was so selfish, and his inner monologue throughout that whole show is so delusional. He's like, Beck was lucky to have me. She's glad to have died by my hands. I gave her everything she wanted. It's like, what?
It's almost like a God complex.
Yeah.
Like you're so narcissistic to like that extent.
Totally. And people like that really do exist.
Which is scary.
It is.
And some people really do fall into that. Like, I feel like nobody is like...
No one's safe.
Quick-witted enough to be like, to recognize it in that moment and cut it. Like, you're just not.
Yeah, especially when you said like you're vulnerable and you love. Like, who doesn't want to dance in the kitchen with red wine?
Who doesn't want a new car brought to them? Like, it's just... It's believable. Like, I think she did do a very good job of making the small, believable things. I mean, the amount of characters alone made it feel real. But... it got boring for me and I just didn't want to pick it up.
Because that really was the whole plot, was just the fact that he was a master manipulator. I mean, there wasn't a lot of question. We knew that pretty early on, that he was every one of these women's husband was him.
Right.
So it wasn't like we were waiting for this big mystery to be revealed or anything.
Yeah, there was no like aha moment.
No,
or like
a chase
twist
or a murder.
Correct.
It was just like, we're reading about how narcissists live their lives.
Yeah.
So it just got a little boring.
Yeah. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were going to make a dating profile for Simon, Nick, Alistair, Damien, whichever one you want to pick, Jonathan, what would his like catchphrase be? What would be like his...
Something so charming. Like, what would his catchphrase be? Do you have one?
Well, yeah, I was like playing around with it.
Okay, let me hear.
Serial monogamist. Emphasis on serial.
Love it. Serial monogamist, not serial killer. And then he would be like, wink, like, that's funny, right? I would think that's funny. I would be like, oh,
or
he's
like
dark
something
humor
with like money. Like I could see him like,
oh, he was all about the money.
Man of your dreams.
Man of your dreams, like cooking connoisseur, red wine connoisseur, something like that. I think, here's what I picture in my head too. Like he's got like the, you know, like hot old men when they have like the gray white hair.
Yeah.
And like the white beard and bright blue eyes.
Yes, and he like unbuttons his button up just like a little bit.
Yeah, he's got like the manly hair, and he's got muscles. He works out so much. He's got like the runner's body. He's real tall.
You're selling Simon.
I'm selling Simon. Yeah, he was like, and he always had like a baby on. He's always good with kids, and
this is toxic.
Yeah, it's very toxic. See, I'm like, do I like Simon?
Wait, stop! I'm falling into my own prediction here.
That's funny though. He would absolutely have like 10 different dating profiles.
One for each name.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine? So I do have some 5-star and a 1-star review.
I'm excited to hear these.
I think you're going to love the 5-star and the 1-star. So let's start with the 5-star. What the heck did I just read? I was tense, on the edge of my seat. Okay, I'm lying. I was already on the floor, scrambling to pick up my dropped jaw.
Really? What was that crazy?
Breathless, nailless, and utterly captivated until the final page of this book, simmering with mounting pressure. Lisa Jewell has done it again. She's written another brilliant thriller that instantly gets my vote for the Goodreads Choice Awards as the best thriller of the year.
No way. Okay, girl. I'm glad. I'm happy she loved it.
Yeah.
Straight up. And this is for all readers out there. Let's just be happy that other readers liked the book. I do feel like sometimes in the reading community on TikTok, like
you kind of get some hate if you
kind of do. Like if you didn't love a certain book that someone else loved, it's like all of a sudden your opinion doesn't matter because it doesn't match someone else's. Like that's what's so fun about reading is like you can connect to a book or not. Like it's fun to talk about.
It's fun to agree to disagree. Like let's just like have some banter about it. Why didn't you love it?
Yeah.
Why did you love it? It's fun.
And I'm glad for anybody who has a good time reading a book.
Don't put so much pressure on reading.
Yeah.
So here's the 1-star. 0.5 actually.
Oh wow, not even a full 1?
Not even a full 1. Santa, why did you put a piece of coal in my stocking? Star. That's what they gave it.
That's hilarious.
Acknowledgement to NetGalley and Atria Books. So I'm assuming that this Goodreads user was like got an early release of the book.
Okay, got it. Which like, can we start getting those, please?
I know,
Lisa Jewell?
please. I'm providing an honest reaction for the first 50% of the book, which is where I stopped.
She DNF'd.
She DNF'd. I was excited to receive this arc. I had read so many positive reviews about Jewell over the years, and today was Christmas cookie baking day, and I was ready. So that's how far the arcs come out. Like she read this in December.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it's about the release. So the cookies turned out beautifully where the book did not. Let's see. The plot is way too long-winded and absolutely needed to be cut down drastically. The female characters are all different varieties of worn-out dishcloths. So many of them tired, pathetic, and dreadfully dull. But to that point, I think that's why it was so like relatable. Like no one's these. You know, it's like relatable characters. But like the fact that they're like...
Because they were just normal people.
Normal, average people. But to be called a dishcloth is crazy.
God forbid, you're just a normal girl living her life.
They're so similar to each other.
They were, though. They were
which
similar.
made it confusing.
Yeah.
Neither admirable nor likable, but like cows out to the pasture. Awful. Mostly interchangeable. Of course, there just had to be one male psychopath that was stringing all these women along. Boo hoo hoo. Whine whine. You know the book is terrible when you are more supportive of the villain. I really don't.
Okay. That's why I liked his point of view way better than any of the
That's
women.
why we envisioned him as so hot. I really don't give a shit how this pans out or if he gives his up comments. Well, I know now I can remove several books off my TBR, which don't do Jewel like that.
We don't need to
do
write
Lisa Jewell like that. She's a good writer.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the best story for us.
Agreed. And like we said, we give her credit for her amazing writing skills. And it was just a dull plot line.
Just a dull plot line.
And I do agree with a lot of that review.
So are we going to close the book on this one?
We're going to close it up. I would give it, how many stars are you going to give it?
I gave it 3.
That's what I was going to say.
She got 1 just for being Lisa Jewell.
Because she's a queen.
She got another star because it was a good audiobook.
Straight
and then
up.
I gave her another one just because of the accents of it all.
The accents and the writing solid. Like I didn't find the writing painful in any way.
No.
It wasn't like cheesy or anything like that. It
Not
was
at all.
Very, very well done. So 3 stars for me.
3 stars for me.
Average. We will absolutely continue to read Lisa Jewell because I know what she can give me and I want more of it. So I want more than she was gone energy.
Please. What book tops it?
Like, do you remember that book? Like, I just remember that was my first craziest plot twist because it was
so good.
Spoilers if you've never read Then She Was Gone, but the craziest twist was there was this missing girl and then the whole time the mom's looking for her and then the whole time she's being captive held in a basement and was impregnated by a psycho person
that the mom was
having in her life.
Yes.
It was her tutor.
Yes.
And then she ends up just dying alone and it was just crazy.
Look,
great book.
Side note, if we can give you any 2 book recommendations, both of these came from Colby, so I can't take credit for them, but I did read them and they are very good. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and Julie, and My Dark Vanessa.
Yes.
Read those books. Listen to those books. I don't care how you consume those books, but you have to, at least one time in your life, read those books.
Yeah, if you are a reader, absolutely read My Dark Vanessa. That book changed me, and it's not what you think it's going to be, so I'll just leave it at that. It's not.
To reread that book.
I know. So good.
So good. So I guess we're ready for our next on the shelf. Let's do it.
We're ready.
So our next on the shelf is The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. She's very popular, especially in the TikTok world.
Yes.
So why not?
Let's do it.
So in this follow-up to the #1 New York Times bestselling author Ruth Ware's multi-million copy mega hit.
Whoa. That's a mouthful.
And the sentence isn't even over yet.
It doesn't even end.
The woman in cabin 10, Lo Blacklock, returns to attend the opening of a luxury hotel only to find herself in the white-knuckled race across Europe. When the invitation to attend the press opening of a luxury Swiss hotel, owned by reclusive billionaire Marcus Liedman, arrives, it's like the answer to a prayer. 3 years after the birth of her youngest child, Lo is ready to reestablish her journalism career. But post-pandemic travel journalism is a very different landscape from the one she left 10 years ago. The chateau on the shores of Lake Geneva.
Ooh, fancy.
Nuvia. Is everything Lo's ever dreamed of and hopes she can snag an interview with Marcus. Unfortunately, he proves to be even more difficult to pin down than his reputation suggests. When Lo gets a late-night call asking her to come to Marcus's hotel room, she agrees despite her own misgivings. She's greeted, however, by a woman claiming to be Marcus's mistress and in a life-or-death jeopardy. What follows is a thrilling cat-and-mouse pursuit across Europe, forcing Lo to ask herself just how much she's willing to sacrifice to save this woman and if she can even trust her. So it's something a little different, mixing it up, a little chase,
a little
if
cat
you will.
and mouse. We haven't done that in a while.
We haven't had a cat and mouse in a while. I think our last cat and mouse was probably Hunting Adeline.
Yes.
And we know how that went.
I did read Ruth Ware, not Woman in Cabin 10, but it was something about locking a door. And I remember I really liked it. So I'm excited to try out her book.
All right. I
think we wrapped it up. I think we got it. I'm really glad that we gave this book a chance because we love Lisa Jewell and we had to see what it was about. So I'm glad we wrapped it up in a bow. Thank you to everyone who read along with us, sent your thoughts. We love y'all. Don't forget now you can watch our full episode now at Q&A Network on YouTube, which is just so nice. And then on any podcast platform at the Open Books Podcast. And don't forget to leave a review because it helps so much. Just go say these girls are so gorgeous.
We're not too proud to beg, please.
I've never seen 2 more beautiful women in my life.
Wow, they're so smart.
They're so intelligent. We agree with everything they say. Everything they say is right and accurate. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But please leave a review. All right. We love y'all. Thank y'all.
Love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.